This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to the second part of my review of the Acolyte episode 8, which we now know is titled The Acolyte. And don't know why they hid that. It's the name of the show, so it's kind of stupid they hid it. But this video is because I realized I was tired last night and had to take a break multiple times in the middle of recording. So there's some major things I missed. I thought I got all the biggest stuff I wanted to talk about. There were some things that are still pretty major that I missed, as I said. So going into this, let's go into the two smaller things that I did want to mention that I forgot to mention in that video. The first is, it's pretty cool to see the Kyber crystals being bled, and on the other hand, the Yoda cameo angered me because they couldn't just pay Frank Oz for like a 5-second cameo. They honestly should have done that, and it's a kind of garbage move that they didn't. So, those are two more minor things. But now, let's go into the major things I want to expand on because the first is the other side of Soul's murder. I still stand by the fact that I think that makes total sense for the dark side to be consuming Osha in that moment and her wanting to kill Soul. She would regret it later, but in that moment she is fully giving into her anger, and it totally makes sense for the dark side to take control of her in that moment. The bad thing is, Soul doesn't even try to explain anything. I honestly believe he was fully in the right to kill the mother. She was threatening, in his eyes, the life of a child, and he wanted to protect her. He easily could have explained that he thought that she was either going to kill or possess May, who he thought was Osha, and that's why he killed her. It was a complete misunderstanding, and he's regretted it every day since, but he doesn't explain any of that. He just acts as suspicious as possible, and like he really wasn't sorry, so honestly, that is. It's just really dumb from his side. While the scene still does work and it does show how dangerous the dark side is, which I think was unintentional, since they're trying to make this look like it's a good thing that she killed Soul, but really it is a bad thing, and it just shows how little the creative team knows about Star Wars. It's honestly a real shame, and it seems that in their moments where they're trying to do the worst writing in terms of Star Wars lore, their writing is so bad that it turns out to be something that is lore accurate. But then when they're thinking they're doing something good, like with Keanu Mundi showing up, they go and do the worst thing possible. Because honestly, with this, all the stuff that seems intentionally to make the Jedi look bad, with the exception of Inestra, which I'll be getting to in just a moment, is honestly extraordinarily not bad for them to do. And then, on the other hand, everything that they're doing that seems supposed to be more neutral or something that they're trying to do to please the fans seems to be the stuff that is genuinely the worst. And while this didn't really destroy the image of the Jedi, it did some really just bad stuff to the lore. It felt like they didn't have any respect for fans at all. and was honestly just genuinely awful. It was honestly so bad I may actually be able to go and sit through Resistance because I haven't been able to finish episode 1 of that. But considering I sat through this, I honestly think I could sit through that show. Now moving on to the other major point I want to talk about, and that's the implications of the cover up and blaming it all on Soul. I was not thinking of this initially, but it was put into my head that honestly it was completely logical when I was watching other people talk about the episode. It was one of the things where it was kind of there at the back of my mind, but wasn't something I was thinking about when I recorded my video. But yeah, honestly, it makes no sense that this would be believed by anybody. The fact that Soul was the killer, there's so much evidence to prove that he wasn't. There's the fact that there was multiple witnesses who saw May kill. I'm just gonna call her Trinity. I don't remember the character's name. We saw that have that. There's also the fact that Soul was seen on Coruscant when the first murder happened, and there's the fact that he was surrounded by witnesses when the second murder happened, and the only they could even possibly blame him for is the third murder of Kalnaka, and that is since literally every witness to that, besides I don't remember the guy's name anymore, but the little creature who seems to have only loyalty to the plot and doing whatever it demands of him. Because honestly, that character made no logical sense. He literally just did whatever the plot required, and it made honestly no sense for him to go and sabotage the weapons. Can't remember if I mentioned that yesterday, but that honestly made no sense. And if you look at it, this senator who has a clear anti Jedi agenda easily could look into this investigation, even slightly, and figure out that he was lied to. And then we have the fact that Vanestra is either having the Jedi cover this up with her, is hiding it for them and making them look incompetent, or is honestly just involving certain members of the Order to help cover this up. No matter what, this is something that actually does make the Jedi look bad. It was the one thing they succeeded in doing to make the Jedi look bad, but honestly, it was just, stupid. And also, let's look at Osha's full commitment to the dark side. While I think that it was done decently well, I still think there are problems. She is still pledging loyalty to someone she knows is a mass murderer, is not a good person, and who, until a mere few hours before, she was fully against and planned to stop. But yeah, honestly, I really don't know why she went in to join him besides to protect her sister, but it seems like she wants this really more than anything else. I don't really know why, but they do need to explain that. There's also just the insane fact that everything is just feeling like it's jumping from place to place. It feels like in this show that character motivations change all the time and to do whatever the plot demands of it. I think that this show was honestly just the worst thing Star Wars possible. I so hope there is no season 2, and if it is, there has to be one. They need to get rid of every single writer, get a new showrunner, and honestly, probably just kill off the character of Osha because she's honestly not that interesting. Neither is May. They weren't acted the best, and the entire soul of the show was sadly killed off in this episode, being Soul. And yeah, honestly, going through this, genuinely cannot believe that Lucasfilm signed off on this being made. It feels like, as many other people have said that I've heard, they just wrote a first draft for this and decided to run with that because I feel like there's so many plot holes, inconsistencies, characters changing out of completely nowhere. It honestly just makes no sense. I don't even know who, why someone thought this was a good idea. It feels like they genuinely were trying to anger fans with this. And as I said, the best part of this entire thing was the Plagueis cameo, and that's only for the fact we get to see him in live action. But yeah, honestly, I really, really did not enjoy the show, and think that it really just needs to end. They should just hire James Seno or Timothy Zahn or one of the great Star Wars writers to basically just wrap up the threads of this and create a new Plagueis novel. But yeah, honestly, I am really disappointed. And looking at anything I missed, I just scrolled through the episode just to see if there's anything I missed, and there's the fact that this senator seems to be right, at least about Minestra needing oversight because she is taking authority to do things that she definitely shouldn't. She should not have the authority to go and have all of these cover ups happening and blaming other people. Besides the fact that there's all this other evidence, which I mentioned earlier. Honestly, I think this might lead to the Jedi working closer with the Republic if they do have a season 2. But honestly, as I said, I really don't want that to happen. And just in case I didn't fully expand on it, the fact that May and Osha are the same person, it's honestly just really, 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 really dumb. Did I say it's really dumb? Because I'm not really sure if I did. Because honestly, just them being the same person, the one question I have to ask is why? It honestly could just been them being normal twins, and then that'd be dumb with them being normal twins who were created using like dark side magic. That was like, okay, I guess so. And then it goes to the final stupid thing, which is them being created by the Force, originally being one being that was split into two, and that their mother created them and is probably the one who taught them the stupid rhyme, which basically foreshadowed everything that happened. And if I cared enough, I probably would have seen that, but I honestly don't. And as a reminder, I just I can't recap this. If you want someone else to do it, you could go to them because I can't recap this. It is genuinely awful. I really, really, really did not enjoy this. So I want to know what you think. And just for the fun of it, and because I'm deciding to be a cruel and sadistic person right now, you'll see on my community tab a poll just came up that asks you the question: would you rather get the Acolyte Season 2 or the Ryan Johnson trilogy? So go feed my dark desires to see which punishment you would rather have. And I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.